Hello, Scorpio. It is time for your mid-July 2025 update. We'll start off with an oracle card and see what your primary energy or theme is for this period. Focus. Being deliberate with your intention. If you're trying to hold back on something, you are not helping the situation. It is not helping you achieve a goal. It is not doing anything to benefit you. That's what I'm getting right here. Is maybe you're withholding information or help or something like that, or your focus. You're deliberately not focusing on something that you need to focus in on. And in particular, you need to pay attention to what is happening. If you try to remove yourself from the situation, you are not going to be happy with the results. You're just setting it up for disaster, and you will have no one to blame but yourself here. Focus. If you want to make sure it is done to the best of everyone's ability there, you need to focus so that you can give your attention to what is needed, to where you can level things up, elevate the process, make things go much smoothly, and everyone benefits in those circumstances. Keep an eye on the ball. Let's see what the tarot cards have to say. We have Seven of Pentacles, the Knight of Staffs, the Three of Swords, the Tower, and the King of Staffs. If you're trying to anticipate a specific disaster, you're focused on the wrong thing. If you're anticipating already that something's going to happen, it's not going to be what you expect. You cannot anticipate this. What will happen is going to happen, and it's going to come out of left field. So I'm getting from this Tower card and the Three of Swords and the King of Staffs, looking back on what happened, having that experience behind them. You'll be able to look back on the situation and better understand and see the path of how it got to that point. But up until after it happens, you will not see it happening. You will not get a heads up. So you're focusing on the wrong things. So focus on benefiting yourself, on helping things move smoothly in order maybe to minimize the impact of whatever change is coming your way. All right, let's get into the individual cards. We're starting off here with the Seven of Pentacles, which is an earth element. It's grounding, it's connected. It's also about more mundane life stuff. Everyday tasks, going to work, making the money, paying the bills, taking care of the house. Seven of Pentacles is indicating you're in a place where you're trying to reevaluate things, or you are evaluating things and trying to determine what is working, what isn't working, what do I want to get rid of, that kind of stuff. It does not mean that you're actually going to put those things in place right away, but you're going through that kind of an evaluation in at least one area of your life. And then the Knight of Staffs. Staffs are wands, a fire element. This is action, this is passion, this is drive, the desire to achieve, the desire to pursue what it is. It's Mars energy, which you have. And when you want something, you will go after it. That's this kind of energy we have here. But this is a knight. This is an area where you don't have any experience really yet. You're just figuring it out as you go, which means you will not always get it right, which is where you need to focus on what is working, pay attention to that, and then improve upon that or take the next steps after that. If you keep trying to go back and force it to work a certain way because you think it should work that way, but it isn't, it is never going to work that way. You need to focus on what does succeed in order for you to succeed. And then we get down here to the Three of Swords. Things are not what you thought they were. You were not as committed as you thought. The other people were not as committed as you thought. There is a sense here of that disconnect between heart and mind, and maybe overthinking things or believing in something that in your heart you knew wasn't true, but you were determined and stubborn enough to say, nope, I know that I think this is how it's going to work. I know I can make it happen this way, even if your heart wasn't fully in it. You had already seized the idea and grasped onto that and were dedicated to the idea of what you wanted to be while ignoring the reality of what actually was going on. So there is this sense of disappointment, a recognition that, okay, this really isn't going to work out the way I thought it would. And I'm going to have to let go of my ideals in this situation or move on to something else, something better. Because clearly this is not meant to be for me. If you can accept that, you may recover very quickly and almost feel like you got a lucky break. Otherwise, you're going to wallow on it and you're just going to keep obsessing it over it in your mind, which does not benefit you. Maybe focus and being deliberate with your attention and focus on why things did not work and why they can't really work going forward or shouldn't work. You shouldn't be compromising your integrity or your desires for what you want out of a relationship to meet the bare minimum of somebody else. You deserve more. And then we have this Tower card, the disaster card. The card that is indicating the universe is clearing something out of your path, whether you are ready for it or not. They're removing a block. You might not see it as a block, but it's an area of your life that probably hasn't ever really been going well, and it's been maybe something you have to keep patching it up and trying different things, but then it always falls apart a little bit again, then you have to put another patch up. It's going to come crumbling down to an irreparable state. If this is something you want to rebuild, you're going to have to start over from scratch. Not using anything, like get rid of all the debris, get rid of anything that is unstable, unusable, does not work, does not benefit you in any way, does not support you at all. Clear the ground and then start with a new solid foundation. Once after you have that solid foundation, then you can build up from that, something that is going to last and stand the test of time. But right now, it needed to be removed. Your other option, and probably the option that is preferred by divine forces, is that you walk on past it. You walk through with freedom through that path that it cleared for you so that you could move forward, so that you could accomplish something that this has been preventing you from accomplishing. This had to be removed for you to achieve a certain goal. You may not recognize that right away, but over time you will understand that. And then we have the King of Wands, or staffs in this case. This person, when they want something, they will go for it. And I think that's what they're looking back on. This is the recognition that, yeah, this was in the way of achieving that success, that goal. You knew it probably unconsciously, but now you can recognize that that was it. That was the blocker. For you to get on top, for you to rise up, you can understand why that had to go. That's what I'm getting mainly out of this card, is when looking back on it, now you can see it. And now that it is cleared, this person is very confident. They're a leader in what they do, or recognized as a leader anyway. They take risks. They're very bold in their choices. They can also have a very bold personality, but they will go after what they want based on their experience. They know exactly what to expect. They know how to go about achieving what they want. Knowing it is a risk, being willing to take the risk, being willing to fail, to fall flat on their face, as long as they're going after what they want and doing something that they love. So I think this is saying be bold in your choices going forward and go after what it is you want. And that, Scorpio, is what I have for you for your mid-July update. Please hit that like button. Please share this with others. Please comment below to let me know if this resonated with you or not. And please subscribe to help me grow my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.